Okay, so in lesson 22, we're going to learn about essentially collisions. So we're going to be able to describe how abstractions can be built upon to develop further abstractions. Okay, so as a reminder, abstractions are simplified representations of something that's a bit more complicated. We're also going to model different types of interactions between sprites, and this is going to allow us to essentially to manipulate our sprites in different ways. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the problems, and let's look at the first prediction. So here we're going to kind of run this problem, and we're going to see what happens with how the sprites interact. Okay, so we notice, okay, the giraffe bumps into the monkey, and here you're going to try to consider how is this coded. Okay, we're going to combine some of these blocks of codes or these functions. So we could say, okay, well, if the giraffe is touching the monkey's velocity x is going to equal the giraffe's velocity x, okay? Or the monkey's velocity x gets the giraffe's velocity x. Okay, but if we don't get that, that's okay. We're going to start looking at the actual codes. So here, again, we're going to use our plan to program the giraffe to push the monkey off the screen. Okay, so again, what we're going to want to do is we're going to say, okay, if what? Well, if the giraffe is touching the monkey, then what happens? Well, the monkey is going to get the monkey's velocity x gets the giraffe's velocity x, right? The monkey's velocity turns to the giraffe's velocity. Okay, so if we run that, we're going to notice that it looks like that's going to work for us, right? The monkey's velocity turns into the giraffe's velocity. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next one. Here, okay, we're going to look and we're going to have the elephant now push the hippo off the screen. And again, it says notice that the elephant moves at a random y velocity each time the program runs. Right, where is it? Okay, the elephant's velocity, y, is a random number between -3 and -1. So we can't say, we can't make it a specific number, but I think we could use the same strategy that we did before. We're going to say, okay, if I forgot the animals already. If the elephant is touching the hippo, and what happens? Same thing, right? The velocity y of the hippo is going to equal the velocity y of the elephant. Okay, so it's touching and the velocities become the same. All right, now let's actually go ahead and look at some of the abstractions now. So this, we're going to talk about displacement. This type of sprite interaction is so common that there's a block for it, the displacement block. Someone tried to use the sprite.displace block to make the elephant push the hippo, but there is a bug. Let's go and find where the displace block is being used and fix the error. Okay, so it looks like it's here, hippo.displace elephant. Okay, well, why isn't it working? Okay, well, it's not working because we actually, we might want to just go ahead and switch this elephant and hippo. We're going to have one displace the other, right? We're going to have I always forget the animal names. The elephant displace the hippo. Okay, so what this does, this abstraction, is essentially if elephant is touching hippo, hippo's velocity becomes the elephant's velocity. Okay. So we're going to learn 3 other types of collisions as well: collide, bounce, and bounce off. Okay, so here you're asked to try it out. You guys could do that on your own. I don't need to do that for you, but you're just going to essentially switch out the collide block right here. Or you're going to run it, you're going to check what the collide does, and bounce and bounce off. Might be easier to switch over to text mode. That's a suggestion here, and just, instead of collide, just do bounce like that. Might be faster to just change it that way. All right, but I'm just gonna move to the next one, and I think, yeah, we're gonna do a couple more. So for here, let's I'm gonna quickly look at some of these collisions with us. So there's 4 types of collisions we use in the game lab: displace, collide, bounce, and bounce off. These blocks cause a certain type of interaction between the sprite and its target. You guys are going to choose the best block to model the basketball's interaction with the floor. Okay, so we can hit show me where. Just comment right down here. Okay. I guess it points to the draw loop, but we're going to go ahead and just do it where the comment is, add the collision here. And again, we could try the different blocks out, right? So we looked at the previous one. Okay, we looked at a previous problem. We hopefully took notes on what the 4 things do. Okay, so let's just, let's go ahead and just try it out. Okay, so right now the basketball doesn't do anything because we didn't use any of the 4 displacements yet. Okay, we have a basketball and and a wood variable. Let's just kind of do one thing at a time. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and do bounce just to kind of show you guys the troubleshooting. Okay, the basketball is gonna bounce off the wood. Okay, we're gonna run, and then I noticed that, that's not working. Okay, so what do we want to do? Well, maybe we want to choose a different type. So maybe I want to say bounce off. Basketball bounces off the wood, and let's take a look at what happened. It looks like it's bouncing, right? Okay. We could, if you wanted to, use add more lines of code, but I think for now we're good with that, right? Because we don't want the ball bouncing forever. It looks like that's going to happen, but we're not going to worry about that in this bubble. Okay, so here we're going to now make the arrow stop at the apple. And same thing, right? We're just going to take a look to see what we need to do. So we're going to choose the best block to make the arrow stop when it reaches the apple. Show me where. It's going to show us down here. So right now the arrow just goes right through. Okay, and honestly, I don't even remember which is which sometimes, but I believe it's collide. I'm going to say, okay, the arrow is going to collide off the apple. And again, right, if we don't remember, we just kind of test it and see what it looks like. And here it looks like it's, I guess it's working. Were we supposed to have it bounce off or just stop? Okay, so stopped. I think that's what it wanted us to do. I don't remember, but looks good for me. Okay, the other 2 are just more practice. You'll figure out which of the displacement or the collision blocks you'll use. I'm just going to move on to the assessment. Okay, so for the assessment, basically we want to mimic this interaction here, right? So it's a lot. I'm just going to do the first one to get us going, because again, a lot of this might be trial and error, or if you took good notes, you'll remember. But what we're going to do for each pair of animals, we're going to choose an interaction that matches it. Okay, so I'm going to go down to my draw function. Okay, we could add comments if we want. We're going to say update sprite collision. Okay, and I don't need more comments. I'll just delete that. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is just go ahead and do the first one. I think it's the giraffe and the parrot. And it looks like they bounce off. So again, I'm just going to go and try it. The parrot bounces off the, I already forgot, the giraffe. Okay, and we'll see if that works. And nope, it doesn't work. So what do we do? Well, we just go ahead and try a different one. So maybe what I might want to do is try, instead of bounce off, maybe I'll try bounce. Just delete the off right there. And we'll take a look. Okay, well, that looks better, right? And again, we'll do trial and error. Some of us will memorize it, some of us won't, but that's fine. That's all part of coding. All right, so we looked at the different interactions, the collisions. Hopefully this video helps us out.